Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Booborama, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into the top 10 best handling supercars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Obviously, this is not the top 10 fastest supercars, and if you'd like to see that video, I'll link it in the description down below, because the majority of the vehicles that are the fastest in the game in the supers class are not the best at handling. So you might be asking, why would I care if a car is really good handling, and as well, how do you actually rank cars that have good handling? Well, the first question, why does it matter? I would actually say handling is much better than top speed. Sure, top speed will allow you to go down a highway very, very fast, but if you need to swerve in and out of traffic, or even better yet, you need the, turn, which is something that a lot of roads have, then handling is definitely going to get you to point A to point B a lot faster. I'd much rather have a car that has a top speed and handling mix, rather than a vehicle that just has pure top speed, like the Fist Raid 11 that was the fastest in the list for the top speed vehicles, but as you'll notice here, doesn't even make it into the best handling by even a long shot. So, second question, why or how do I rank handling? I don't actually rank the handling. This is done by a website called GTAcars.net from a fellow YouTuber, Bruffy1322. Basically, he has a racetrack that he tests all the vehicles on, and whatever the best lap time he can get with the vehicles is how he ranks them. So, pretty simple. He's a really good driver, and I trust basically anything Bruffy does because he's really, really technical. With that aside, these here are the 10 vehicles, and we're going to be getting into the first one, which is what I've been driving, the Ocelot XA-21 at a price tag of $2.375 million. Now, I love the Ocelot. This is one of my first cars I actually purchased on my Broke to Millions account, and I mean, it looks amazing. You can see why I like this car. First of all, it has one of the meanest frontal looks in the game. I just think this car looks amazing. It's got a pop-up spoiler on the back, and how can you not like a big old wang that pops up? So that's great, and yeah, I mean, it's just a super nice car. The only thing I wish is that you can make the back a little bit transparent on that glass so you can actually see the engine that you can kind of see is hiding in there. I made it orange, but yeah, overall, this car's got a fantastic lap time and goes into the 10th place for handling at a lap time of 59 seconds, 0.927. Next up, we have a car that is not actually known at all for top speed. This is the RE7B. The RE7B is an old but gold vehicle. Oh, my character's getting into the wrong car. Maybe if I go this way, there you go. The RE7B is one of the only two-door Le Mans style vehicles. Other Le Mans style vehicles we have are the S80RR, the LM87, vehicles like that. Well, this one, it has two doors, which is nice, which means you can actually have a passenger with you, but top speed, only 124 miles per hour. But look at this. I mean, this is absolutely insane. While the vehicle may not have a lot of top speed, this is probably one of the best handling vehicles ever on just how quickly it can turn and how fast it brakes. It's just so nice to be able to do this without sliding at all around. So because of that, it has an absolutely fantastic lap time of 59.727, but it is quite expensive at $2.475 million. So yeah, you do got to keep that in mind. If you want to buy this vehicle, you're going to be dropping a very pretty penny for a car that's not super fast. Personally, I wouldn't actually suggest to buy it just because it really isn't that fast, and while it has that amazing lap time, there's a lot of other cars that have better lap times and as well better overall top speeds. Next up, we have the Ignis. I think that this car looks amazing as well. This is another one of my more favorite looking vehicles in the game. It just looks so mean. I like all types of Lamborghinis. I'm not sure exactly which one this is based off of, maybe the Veneno. There's so many Lambos out there that are so crazy looking in their own ways. What I can say is that this is probably a one-off design that's going to cost you $3 million in real life. In GTA, well, it's not cheap either at $2.765 million, but it does have a pretty dang good lap time at 59 seconds, 0.626. Overall, really, really fun vehicle, really nice. Again, I wouldn't really suggest to buy this one because it is so darn expensive. However, the next vehicle, oh man, this one I definitely say is a really good deal. This is the Torero XL. Now, when I say good deal, I don't mean on the price tag because it's actually the most expensive, oh, I've already crashed. It's the most expensive vehicle on the entire list. It's sitting at $2.89 million. However, there's a reason why it's so expensive. First of all, it features a lap time of 59 seconds, 0.577, just barely edging out the Ignis. But second of all, this car, oh god, I should have been looking where I was driving. But what I was gonna say is that this car also has the second or third fastest top speed in the game for a supercar at over 131 miles an hour. So when you add that into the fact that this car also has great handling, it's really the best of both worlds. So there's a reason why it's so expensive. As well, it's got pop-up headlights, and absolutely amazing looking pop-up headlights at that, even though I broke one of them. It also has a pop-up spoiler on the back, and I mean, the car just looks amazing. It's based off the original Lamborghini Countach, and I think Lamborghini did an absolutely fantastic job on this car in real life, and I think that Rockstar did a great job kind of recreating it in Grand Theft Auto Online without obviously getting copyright stricken. Next up, we have the Thrax. The Thrax is another really nice vehicle, and I would actually say for the price tag, the Thrax is not a bad deal. It's sitting at $2.325 million. Sure, it's expensive, but to be fair, it's not even comparably expensive to a vehicle like the Torero. And the fact that this vehicle not only has a pretty decent top speed, upwards of 127, but also the fact that this vehicle has a really, really good handling area, it just creates such a nice vehicle to drive. I think the Thrax looks great. I think it's based off of the Devo. Might be wrong, but it's definitely based off of Bugatti Devo or Chiron, somewhere around that area. It looks fantastic, personally, and yeah, I mean, it's with the lap time and the price tag being a little bit on the lower end, not a bad deal at all. But now we're starting to go up to another expensive vehicle, this one being the Ignis S80RR. The S80RR is a single-seater. It's a Le Mans style vehicle. Now, as a single-seater, you know that you're going to get absolutely fantastic handling, and as well, I think the car looks really, really cool. Now, the S80RR has a little bit lower of a top speed, similar to like the RE7B at I think around 125, but you're going to see, look at this cornering. I mean, this is insane. The fact that you can corner at full speed without applying any brakes, that is amazing. And the fact that this car is sitting at a lap time of 59.226. I should also add in that the Thrax is just barely behind by like a literal hair on my chinny chin chin at 59.261 on a lap time. Overall, I actually wouldn't suggest to buy this car when the Thrax exists, which is cheaper and sits at literally the same lap time. But then again, I also wouldn't suggest to buy a lot of these cars when you could buy this here, the Dubachi Wagner. The Wagner is really the only cheap vehicle in the entire list, and that's why I'd say that it's an absolute steal of a car. This is based off the Aston Martin Valkyrie, if I'm not mistaken. It's a really cool looking vehicle, and it has a lap time of 59.194. The Wagner is $1.5 million. That means it is half the price of a vehicle like the Torero XO. So while I did say the Torero is a really good vehicle to buy, look at the handling on this thing. I mean, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing the handling this vehicle has. Super quick on the turning. Also, it's a two-seater, and yeah, as I said, with the price tag of this vehicle being $1.5 million, this is a must-buy. Out of all the vehicles in this list, if you're a newer player and you don't have a crazy amount of money to throw around, this is a vehicle I would highly suggest to purchase because of how darn amazing it is. Next up, we have the LM87. Now, the LM87 is another really good buy, but if you have a lot of money, because first of all, great top speed, upwards of, I think, like 129. Add that in with the fact that the LM87 has an absolutely ridiculous lap time of 58.658, and that's crazy. Wagner is 59.194, so this is the first vehicle to break that 58-second lap time area. And I mean, again, the lap time is amazing because of this absolutely ridiculous handling here. You can see it does lose a grip every now and then, but overall, I can full hard turn this, and look at this, just sticking to the road, no problem whatsoever. Add that in with the fact that, again, this is a super fast vehicle, and it's great. It's got the best of both worlds. It's absolutely fantastic, but very expensive as well, sitting at $2.915 million, right up there next to the price tag of the Torero XO. So it definitely has its fair share of downsides when it comes to that price tag. Next up, we have the Krieger. The Krieger and the Emerus are almost identical when it comes to their top speeds. In fact, they are the same top speeds, and their lap times are pretty similar as well. The Krieger is just a little bit slower, but the Krieger looks absolutely amazing. It's based off the Mercedes AMG 1 or something like that, and it's got a lap time of 58.526, just 1/10 of a millisecond, or not 1/10 of a millisecond, but I should just say 1/10 of a second faster than the LM87. So not that much different on the overall time there. And the LM87 has a bit better of a top speed, but because of this vehicle's insane handling, you can see it just sticks to the ground amazingly. It does have just that slightly bit of a better lap time. Finally, we have the Progen Emerus, which is based off the McLaren Sema, sitting at a lap time of 59.291. So it's just slightly better again by about 0.2 of a second compared to the Krieger. Now, I think the Emerus not only looks amazing, but it's just such a good car. I would always suggest to buy the Emerus, whether you're a newer player or you're a player that's been playing GTA for a long time. This vehicle sits at a top speed of, I think, 127.25. That's at least what I said in my other video on Super's top speed. And then when you add that in with the fact that this vehicle also has amazing handling, it's just such a good vehicle. I mean, look at this. Easily turn it around any corner here, and that's just what makes it so good. So overall, the Emerus is just such a strong vehicle, and I would highly suggest for anybody to get their hands on this vehicle in GTA Online. If you would like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. And I'm obviously going to do more. I'm going to probably do motorcycles and other things like that. So yeah, make sure to click that subscribe button. But other than that, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.